Oh, hey, here's your DoorDash order. There.
Fuck you, delivery boy.
What the hell? Okay. Not sure what that was about, but let's see how much I made on this order. Well, that sucks.
You forgot my burger, delivery boy. Fuck you.
Hey everybody, so today I went to talk about DoorDash because, look, here in the year 2025, it's not looking too good for a lot of us. We're getting this close to starting to fill out job applications because it's getting rough out here. Now look, back in the good old days when COVID was happening, and you might be like, whoa, in the good old days there was a pandemic going on. Was it really that good? But for DoorDash drivers, yeah, it was, because you could go out pretty much any day and make some pretty good money. These days though, not so much. Most of the time nowadays, I'm sitting in a parking lot for 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm just waiting for that notification sound. Yeah, that one right there. And you look down at your phone and you see just the most horrendous order, and it just is such a feeling of disappointment. But look, in all seriousness, today I am announcing that I am retiring from DoorDash. Yeah. Look, sometimes you gotta leave when you're in your prime, and I'm only a couple more days from going completely insane out there on the road. So, now before I do completely retire though, I do have some criticisms that I want to say about DoorDash. Firstly, the reward system or tier system for DoorDash drivers, which is just horrendous. The earn by time mode obviously is just really bad. How expensive it's getting for customers to buy food on the platform. Just little things here and there that probably don't matter all too much, but I'm gonna complain about them anyway. So now firstly, I went to look at the advertisements that DoorDash puts out there because they make DoorDash seem so glamorous in these ads.
This DoorDash ad on TikTok saying how you can earn extra money fast by dashing with DoorDash. The sign up is easy and only took a few minutes. The schedule is flexible and there's no boss.
That's just not the case. Like, firstly, they're like, be your own boss in a lot of these ads. And I'm gonna be honest, you're not your own boss when it comes to DoorDash. Obviously, there is a lot more freedom in a job like DoorDash comparatively if you were to go work at a warehouse job, of course. But you still have a set of rules over you. You have to follow them or you could potentially get contract violations or even get kicked off the platform. You're still having to follow someone's rules. So you being your own boss, no, not really. I don't know, I just find these advertisements funny because it feels like it's trying to get people a false sense of what DoorDash actually is. Like, when you go out there and do DoorDash, I'm not saying like it's a hard job, obviously not, but there are things that you have to keep up with. Obviously, the depreciation of your car over time, you having to pay for gas every single day, you having to take out taxes from your money. These are just some of the things that you have to think about when going out, and DoorDash just is like, nah, it's all cool. Now, I want to talk about the reward/tier system that DoorDash has for their drivers because it's pretty bad, okay? Now, they have 3 different tiers, which are silver, gold, and platinum. And they all are based around your completion rate, acceptance rate, your reviews that you get from the customers. With these tier systems, it does take some work to get there because let's say your acceptance rate is at a good old 0, which, a lot of the times mine is. That means you have to take 60 to 70 orders to be in one of these tiers. And let's just say when you're getting really bad orders like this, it does not sound very fun to get to that point. Now, I have gotten to platinum when it comes to DoorDash a couple of times, and you have to get 70% acceptance rate, which means it is just a grind. The unfortunate thing is the grind is just so bad. When you are trying to get to any of these tiers, it just seems like it sends you over and over and over nonstop some of the worst orders imaginable. Once you get to the platinum tier, you don't get that much better orders. You might get the occasional, oh, here's a platinum tier order, which is usually like, oh, here's a $4 order for like 2 miles. It's not really that good. It's mostly just the same old horrible orders that you see with the occasional good order scattered in there. Because I've gotten to platinum 3 times now, but the last time I did it, I got to platinum and I did it for a couple of days and didn't get 1 platinum order. It's like, give me something good here. And yeah, I got nothing. I basically gave up on DoorDash for like a month or 2. I was like, screw this, I'm done. And then I came back and I was like, I'll just kill my acceptance rate. But it's also one of those things where it's like, once you're in the tier system, you're kind of stuck in it. Because the thing is, once you go under 70% acceptance rate, which is really easy to do. So basically, if you drop under, it's like, well, I don't got it anymore, fuck. But also let's talk about earn by time, because earn by time is not good. If you go on the earn by time mode, you're basically saying, hey, I'm gonna be taking all the bottom of the barrel orders that no one takes on the earn per offer mode. DoorDash gives you all the like no tip orders that basically are like $2 for 10 miles, but because you're on earn by time, you can't see the total, so it's like, oh, maybe I'll get a tip, maybe this will be a good order. Spoiler alert, it probably isn't. In my area, it's like $12 an hour. And let's just say you are making the hourly, amount of income that it's telling you you're gonna make. $12 is basically nothing when it comes to DoorDash. After gas and everything else and taxes and whatnot, like, you might as well go ahead and just say, hey, I'm doing charity work here. But it's also like with the hourly mode, sometimes they'll give you an order. It might be like $7 for 13 miles or something crazy like that. Obviously, if you're driving a 13-mile order, there's a pretty good chance it's going to take you outside of your zone. And now you have to drive all the way back. And obviously, when you're driving back, you ain't getting paid for that. So you basically made, let's say $8 in 1 hour. I also think like when it comes to the actual prices that customers are having to pay for, like it is ridiculous. I downloaded the app like a couple of days ago just to kind of see how expensive things were. And it's like double to triple the amount that you are paying if you just went to the restaurant and ordered there. Like, it is kind of ridiculous to me that people actually pay these expensive prices. I guess if you have the money, sure, why not? But it is one of those things where, like, to a certain extent, I kind of get why some of these customers don't leave a tip when it is like this expensive to buy some food from McDonald's, for example. But that's unfortunately the way it is, because unfortunately DoorDash drivers rely solely basically on tips. And like basically it ends up creating this like atmosphere where the DoorDash driver blames the customer because it's like, oh, because of you not leaving the tip, I'm not getting paid well enough. And then the customer's like, hey, I've already paid so much for this food. If I were to give you a tip, like I'm going to end up paying this super outrageous amount. It is really annoying as a DoorDash driver going out there and seeing all of these just horrendous orders. But also in the customer's point of view, I also don't want to have to pay $40 for like 2 McChicken sandwiches and like some fries. Like it's a little ridiculous. But I guess like if you are going to use a service, like you kind of know that tips play a big part of whether or not you're going to get your order on time. Can't really expect a DoorDash driver to be like, yeah, $2 for like 8 miles. Sure, why not? Like, at the end of the day, majority of this blame should be put on DoorDash. DoorDash itself should make these orders better. I will say, like, if you live in a hard to get area, or if you're just going to be like really demanding when it comes to your order and give a lot of orders to the DoorDash driver, then leave a fucking tip, like, come on. A couple of days ago, I went on the DoorDash Reddit, and it is just nonstop complaining from these DoorDash drivers. And it's like, after a while, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not a surprise when you see a $2 order for 10 miles. Like, you know what's going to happen. And they're continuously taking screenshots on this Reddit, posting them like it's a surprise. Like, oh my God, there's a no tip order. And it's like, yeah, that's DoorDash. It's gonna happen. Like, I just thought it was funny because it's just a bunch of people complaining about something they know that's going to happen for a fact, and then when it does happen, they're like so shocked about it. And I don't know, there are some videos out there that just make DoorDash drivers look like assholes, like just not good people, basically. Like,
I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Hey, this person got angry because they didn't get a tip, but if you're on earn per offer, like, you're gonna know the total before taking that order. It's crazy to say, hey, here's a really bad order, but I'm gonna take it anyways, and then get mad about it. Like, okay, that's on you. And look, I want to say being a DoorDash driver is pretty easy. It's not this really complicated job. I'm not complaining in this way where I'm like, gosh, being a DoorDash driver is so hard, because no. I will say there is a lot to keep up with when it comes to your taxes, and especially the health of your car. My 2019 Nissan Versa, that poor little thing is not in very good shape anymore, at least not to where it used to be. Throughout the years of me doing DoorDash, I've had to replace so many flat tires. My windshield cracked because a rock flew while I was doing DoorDash. I've gotten into a couple of wrecks. Maybe some of them were my fault. Maybe. Also, I've had to replace my battery on my car. And if I were to keep going, at some point I would have to replace my brakes. It is a lot. And of course, if you're going to do DoorDash full time, like, it is really important to have some kind of emergency fund. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you get a flat tire and you're like, well, I don't have any money. I guess this is it. I'm homeless now. Like, okay. And for a lot of people, DoorDash is all they have right now. Maybe they got laid off or fired from one of their jobs, or they're just in between things and they're looking for a current job. And I will say DoorDash is good for that. It's nice in like an emergency situation. But look, I'm retired now. I don't have to worry about DoorDash. I'm out of the trenches, okay? But for anyone who's going to remain a DoorDash driver, I salute you. Ugh. Okay, that's it. I don't know. Goodbye.